24 hours. That is the absolute limit of what any human being on this planet receives in a single day. You cannot pause it, and you cannot save it for tomorrow. The most successful technology leaders in the world operate under this exact same constraint. Elon Musk receives exactly 24 hours, and cultural and spiritual figures share the identical limit. The Dalai Lama receives 24 hours. If the fixed constraint of time applies to everyone universally, why does it feel like elite performers live 10 lives while the average person drowns in one? The persistent feeling of falling behind stems from attempting to manage the fixed constant of time rather than the variables of energy and attention. The modern knowledge worker faces a chaotic reality. Research from Microsoft shows that, on average, a worker is interrupted or switches tasks every 3 minutes. We fall into a psychological trap, equating typing fast, responding instantly to notifications, and constant motion with actual forward momentum. This is the optimization error. We attempt to solve exhaustion by downloading new apps and planners, trying to cram more tasks into a mathematically fixed variable. You cannot manage time. Time is completely fixed. To stop running on a treadmill that never moves, you must prioritize the two dynamic resources you actually control, your energy and your attention. Your brain functions as a biological organ with physical limits, rather than a mechanical machine engineered for continuous operation. Biologists map performance through ultradian rhythms, a 90-minute curve of high cognitive capacity followed by a 20-minute recovery dip. Forcing the brain through this dip destroys focus. Subsequent peaks collapse dramatically because you borrow energy meant for recovery. The solution is to identify your peak cognitive window, usually a 2 to 4 hour block, and defend it exclusively for your single most critical task. Aligning your hardest work with your biological peak is the only sustainable method to produce high-value output. Attention is the most valuable resource you possess. Right now, it is under coordinated attack by systems specifically engineered to fragment your focus. Look at the timeline for a single interruption. A 30-second distraction requires an average of 23 minutes to fully recover deep focus. Defending your attention requires environmental tactics. Move your phone to a different room and batch reactive tasks like email into 2 designated daily windows. For small tasks, use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, execute it immediately to prevent it from draining your cognitive bandwidth later. Producing significant, high-value results requires the aggressive defense of your attention against a world designed to fragment it. Parkinson's law dictates that work will automatically expand to fill whatever amount of time is assigned to it. Shorter time boxes force the brain to prioritize ruthlessly. By limiting the time available for a major task, you maintain quality while eliminating wasted hours. High performers prioritize through subtraction. Warren Buffett famously notes that highly successful people say no to almost everything. Strict time constraints and extreme selectivity function as necessary filters, isolating meaningful work from background noise. Modern workplace culture signals status through exhaustion and constant availability. History remembers generational minds for their deep breakthroughs, not their rapid response times. Toni Morrison wrote masterpieces while working a full-time job by waking up at 4:30 in the morning, giving her first isolated hours to her most important work. This requires a mental shift. You must stop trying to fit everything in and start eliminating what doesn't matter. Tolerating the short-term discomfort of being unreachable enables the deep, focused time required for major breakthroughs. Chronic sleep deprivation causes cognitive impairment on par with being legally drunk. High-quality rest sustains the biological systems required for peak performance. To guarantee recovery, implement a shutdown ritual. This is a deliberate, physical sequence to close out your workday, reviewing tasks, closing applications, and consciously stopping. This ritual signals to your nervous system that it is safe to stop. It prevents the brain from running background processes that consume energy during your time off. Here is your challenge. Tonight, write down one essential task. Tomorrow morning, give that task your first 90 protected minutes. You already have all the potential you need. Success is simply having the courage to fiercely protect the hours you've had all along.